Cybulski here, and I would like to welcome you back to the Camp Min Show, which is amazing and awesome and great. So I'm so excited for you to be here with us today. What are we doing? Well, end of October, early November. That means we have Halloween. We got All Saints Day. Great stuff we're going to talk about on this podcast show today, which is cool and awesome. Before we get started on content, we got some new news. Cool. So, one, we have our DeSales Service Works retreat leaving this week, and we have our Fan the Fire retreat this week. So both of those things, I mean, kind of already have to be signed up if you wanted to go on them, but I could use your prayers for them. So please be praying for our DeSales Service Works retreat. They're going down to Camden, New Jersey. They're going to do service for 3 days, and they're going to do amazing and great things. And then the Fan the Fire retreat, also pray for them. They're going to go to York in order to get to know God better. I think that's a good way to put it. But I also want to invite you to join us for Bible study, for Fiat, for Bro Code, for Mass during the week. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Totally forgot about this. Super important, super great. As we're recording right now, the prayer is that Camp Min is open. I know, the new Camp Min, it's open, it's cool, it's really hip, I think it's so cool. I like walking, I'm like, wow, this is amazing, this is where I work. So come join us during study halls. Check your QR code, okay, in case you didn't know. You got a QR code in your study hall, you scan the QR code, and it says the date, the period, and if we're open. Make sure you check all of those things before you just come down to Camp Min. But we'd love for you to join us down in Camp Min, our new space. Okay, so I really wanted to talk about Halloween, so I hope you really wanted to join me for Halloween. So we're gonna be talking about Halloween. Yeah, spooky stuff. But in order to do that, I do need to bring in my handy dandy stool. I know some of you guys really like my stool. It's not washed or anything, it's special, but I think you also know what that means, that I've got Father Logue coming in.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be back on the show.
So glad you're here because I get my stool when I'm with you, and now I feel tall and really cool.
Just don't fall off.
No promises, I'm not gonna lie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you've been like chilling here at Lancaster Catholic for a good amount of time now.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear especially about Fan the Fire this week,
yeah.
Because I went on that retreat when I was in high school.
Wow.
And I remember going to the talk on vocation and thinking seriously about the priesthood there, so it's...
You're like, I don't want that. No, just kidding. But nice, cool. Okay, so you're chill to talk about some like Halloween
Absolutely.
stuff? Okay.
Absolutely.
So I feel like I always hear like mixed reviews if like Halloween, does that have to do with our faith? Or is that like, don't touch it, like that's really bad, that's not our faith? Like, you got any clarity in that for us?
Sure, absolutely. And there's a lot of mixed history of Halloween. It's an old holiday. It's taken a little bit from here and there. But if we just look at the name itself, the name Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve. And Eve, we know, means the night before. And so the next day after Halloween is All Saints Day, or the day of all the hallowed ones. So All Hallows Eve.
Real quick, before we get too much further, Hallows. What does that mean?
Hallowed just means holy. So,
okay.
All holy ones.
I know I'm not the only one who didn't know that. Like, you guys didn't either. Like, that's not just me, okay? Okay, all holy ones. I see.
Yep. All holy ones, all hallowed ones, All Hallows Eve.
Why didn't we just call it All Saints Eve? Like, Christmas Eve is Christmas Eve. Like, I feel like that makes sense logistically.
We probably started calling it All Hallows Eve when more people use the word hallow.
Okay.
Instead of saints. But.
Well, maybe we just need to be up on the times here, people. Let's modernize Halloween. Okay, anyways, sorry. Okay, pause. Did you have more to say about that before I interrupted you? I'm so sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's fine.
So then, like, how did we go from All Saints Day, the eve of All Saints Day, Hallow Eve, to hey, let's go trick-or-treating. Like, is there anything there at all?
Yeah, so again, Halloween took a little bit from here, a little bit from there, but one of the main elements that I think led to trick-or-treating is the tradition of soul cakes. And so what they would do on All Hallows Eve, the eve before All Saints' Day, is those who were poor, who maybe were homeless, they would go around to different homes, and every home would bake little cakes to give out to the homeless. And the deal was, you would go to someone's door, you'd knock on their door, and you'd ask for a soul cake. And they would give you a cake in return for promising to pray for all the deceased members of that family.
Whoa. Like, my mind's actually blown. Like, I did not know this
Wild.
stuff. Wow.
And now we just threaten people with tricks.
Well, now
So.
we just get candy. Like, where's the cakes?
And now we just get
Can
candy.
we bring back the cakes, people? Like,
Well,
imagine that.
I think what we should bring back, and we can do this on our own, is when you go trick-or-treating and get candy from someone's house, say a prayer for them.
Oh, that,
When they give you
okay,
candy.
that would be the
Easy
good,
peasy.
That would be the good thing. I mean, cakes, prayer, like, I don't know. Which one should we bring back? Okay, that's again, like, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
What about ghosts? Like, where did they come from? Like, that's not like a Christian thing.
It has some connections.
Okay.
I think over time people just associated more and more spooky stuff with Halloween.
Right.
But we are thinking and remembering on All Hallows Eve and All Saints' Day, we're remembering all those who have died and are in heaven. So there's some reason to be thinking of ghosts.
Ghosty
Although
things.
ghosts, as most people think of them, is not really our thing.
You mean like a white little sheep?
Yeah,
like-
someone in a white sheet haunting someplace. No, when we die, we go to heaven or purgatory or maybe hell. But
hopefully not that one.
that's a lot scarier than the spooky ghosts.
Okay, well, skeletons.
Skeletons has more of a connection to our faith. And you can actually see a lot of places, especially older churches in Europe, that might have skeletons as decorations. And the reason they have skeletons, not because they're trying to be ready for Halloween, is because skeletons can be a memento mori, which is Latin for a reminder of death. And so we want to remember that we're not going to live forever. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
The best example we have today is Ashes on Ash Wednesday. When we get ashes, we often hear, remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return. So
Right.
it's a reminder of death.
Okay, so the churches aren't always perpetually ready for Halloween, unlike my house that perpetually has a Christmas tree up. So it's not the same thing. So I don't have permission to leave a Christmas tree up all year round.
Well,
My name's Noelle. I have all the permission in the world, like Christmas right here. Okay, anyways, okay.
back to Halloween.
Back to Halloween. I just like Christmas better. It's okay. Wait, I had another... Vampires!
Vampires are one of my favorite elements of Halloween because they all started from Bram Stoker's novel Dracula.
Right.
And Bram Stoker actually wrote the novel Dracula as an anti-Catholic work. He wanted to make fun of Catholics and our superstitious beliefs. And so he created a sort of opposite of Christ. I don't want to say anti-Christ, that has a whole bunch of other baggage, but an opposite of Christ. So think of Jesus. He gives life to the world by shedding his blood, whereas Dracula takes life from the world to feed himself.
Okay.
And in the original book, Dracula's weaknesses, we think often of garlic, but throughout the book, he's weak to crucifixes, to religious symbols, to prayers, and most especially to the Eucharist. And so this work that was meant to make fun of Catholics, I think we can actually really enjoy as a reminder of how real what we believe actually is, and how powerful the symbols and sacraments and sacramentals of our faith actually are.
I definitely didn't get that
There you go.
reading Dracula. I may have fallen asleep a couple times while reading Dracula, so that might be why, but maybe now I should reread it. Yeah. But whoa, that's actually really cool and interesting. Again, never realized. Werewolves.
I don't know if there's much of a connection with the werewolves.
Dang it, I was
Sorry.
really hoping you'd tie that in some, like dogs and no, I'm not gonna try. Okay. I mean, I bet there's some other things, but like any other like cool connections, Catholic faith, Hallows Eve things?
Not as much, but really, I think Halloween can tend to overshadow the next couple of days, which are really important for us. especially All Saints Day.
Yeah.
It's almost as if Christmas Eve had become more important and popular than Christmas itself. We're forgetting the actual holiday that we were preparing for.
Right.
So All Saints Day is when we remember all of those saints who are in heaven that we don't know about. Because we celebrate throughout the year different saints who we know are in heaven. And there are miracles and history, and they've demonstrated heroic virtue. But anyone who's died and is in heaven is a saint.
Hashtag saint.
We remember them. And then the very next day, All Souls Day.
All Souls Day.
We pray for all those who have died who might not be in heaven yet, those who are in purgatory on their way to heaven.
So definitely on All Souls Day, which is November 2nd. All Saints Day is November 1st. Halloween is October 31st. In case you need all of these dates. October 30th is my birthday, so even like so many great things in 4 days. But on All Souls Day, again, that's November 2nd, really praying for people that you know who have passed away, that we don't know if they're in heaven right now, but really praying for their souls to be in that eternal happiness in heaven. And
Absolutely.
The beauty of that.
Absolutely. There are countless examples of saints really talking about the importance of praying for those souls, that they need our prayers, all the way back from the book of Maccabees throughout history. And there's especially tradition of praying for those who have died in the past year. So if you know anyone who's passed away in this past calendar year, or this past year since last All Souls Day, we pray especially for them.
Yeah, nice. Cool, well, thank you so much. I hope you guys loved that. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe I'm just weird, I don't know. But, yeah, I think that's kind of a wrap for today.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I was kind of talking to them.
I was going to leave.
Yeah,
so
see ya. Have a great one.
Okay.
Bye. I'm going to get off my stool. So thank you for joining us also. I hope that you had a great Halloween, All Saints Day, All Souls Day, everything. And keep up those prayers. Yeah. Okay. Bye. See ya.